On today's show, we learn about Bethesda House in Pembroke, visit with massage therapist Leigh Lench-Smith, talk to Kingston COA Director Marybeth Lawton, and talk about upcoming things to do in our South Shore towns. I'm Elizabeth. Let's get started. The Plymouth Public Library Sustainability Series continues on June 26th at 7 p.m. and will focus on energy-efficient heating and cooling. The Town of Plymouth Sustainability Coordinator, Mark Ryle, begins the program with a sustainability update, followed by Green Energy Consumer Alliance's Energy Efficiency Coordinator, Lois Hayes. Lois' presentation is all about heat pumps, how they function normally in severely cold weather, their configuration options, and incentives available. Homeowner testimonials and guidance on how to find a contractor for your energy-efficient heating and cooling system conclude the event. Register to win a door prize upon arrival and enjoy light refreshments as you learn. Sponsored by Citizen Climate Lobby, Plymouth Area League of Women Voters, and Sustainable Plymouth. Visit the Plymouth Public Library's website to register. Leigh Lench-Smith is a licensed massage therapist whose 24 years of practice inspired a trailblazing solution to alleviate body discomfort. Julie Thompson visited with Leigh at her home.
I am so pleased to be joined here today in her home with Leigh Lench-Smith. Leigh is a fascinating woman, over 60, who we're going to find out a lot about today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Who is Leigh Lench-Smith and how did you get to where you are right now?
I ended up leaving Nantucket after 10 years of being there and came home to Duxbury with a 12-year-old and wasn't sure what direction I was going to go in.
Okay.
And during a very early morning quiet moment, sitting at a beach, I actually looked up and said, "What should I do now?" I did hear a voice, and it said massage therapy.
And you had never thought of massage therapy?
I had never thought of massage therapy, although I, in my younger years, really wanted to be a nurse, like my mom.
Okay.
But I never chose that route, and here I was thinking that's the closest thing to medicine. So I went to school at a holistic health and massage therapy school, made it my job, graduated, and opened my first little studio right here in Duxbury at like 250 square feet.
Now, massage therapy wasn't as popular as it is now then, correct?
It definitely was finding its way more, that it is a form of actually creating better health.
Yeah.
So I wanted my practice to be a little bit different than working for somebody who would want me to rush through an appointment. I wanted to get to know my client, to find out what was happening with that person to whatever degree they chose to tell me.
Okay. Because
chronic pain usually comes from a chronic thought, something that's going on in your life. And if they choose to speak about it, they've already started their healing right there in our first conversation, not even before, just before they even get on the table. Massage therapy reduces and releases toxin in your body. So if you're releasing those two things, you're a much healthier individual. You're allowing somebody to take care of you, to be nurtured. And there's so many people who are not.
Yeah, and need this.
And they need it. And besides being therapeutic in nature, my true specialty is anything prenatal, the pregnant population.
So talk about that, because that has to be a specialty too.
It is.
Right? I mean, you not anyone can just manipulate a pregnant person,
no.
Correct? You need to know
Correct.
what you're doing. So talk to me about what that involves.
So when I was in school, we were asked to choose a specialty, and they gave us a list of what the specialties were. I knew immediately I wanted it to be prenatal.
Okay.
Because I really wish that I had had it when I, many years ago, was pregnant.
Yeah.
And so in order to take the courses in prenatal massage at school, you first had to take Eastern philosophy, because every point in your body correlates to an organ. And in prenatal massage, you cannot be overstimulating a point that correlates to cervix or uterus.
Right, because that could cause a problem.
Right?
Right. Yeah.
You also have to know when not to work with a woman, or what is going on with them. So you do fill out a form before I touch you. You have to be over 12 weeks pregnant. Mm-hmm. And I take them all the way through to the end, and developed a natural induction massage.
I was just going to say, are you there during childbirth? Can you be there?
I am a doula.
Wow.
So I am a trained doula, but I am not a birth doula at the moment, because I wouldn't want to leave you on the table.
Right.
Because the phone rang. But it was a good way to go to just add another layer to my education.
Yeah.
So I see you all the way to the end, and girls don't want to take drugs now.
Right.
To induce labor. All these months you've been told not to eat sushi or cold cuts.
Yeah.
And then at the end, you're given a drug to speed up your labor. So the induction massage, I've seen you monthly. Mm-hmm. And at the end, when things start moving
on their own, yeah,
then I do this massage, and quite often it's 1 to 4 24-hour periods.
And you specialize in prenatal, but you also have come up with a product that has led to you forming a company and getting a patent. Talk about what led to that moment.
All these years I've been working, predominantly on women. And one day, one of my clients was ready to turn over on the table. And before she went down all the way, she said, "I hate laying on my breasts." Mm. And I just said, oh my gosh, this has been right in front of me all these years.
Right.
And I need to do something about this.
So?
And so I created a pad that is not a pillow, and it conforms to any size, shape,
yeah,
or density. It is great for women laying on their chests.
Right.
Whether it is on a massage table, chiropractic table, whether it's on a yoga mat.
Yep.
It is great on a chaise lounge. And I just started working it out. And I just kept thinking, what is it that would make women comfortable? And all the pieces started to formulate. And then one day I had a foot surgery, and I had to be off my feet for 2 weeks. And taking me down for 2 weeks, mm-hmm, and being calm and quiet, and not being able to be on my feet doing massage, I created my entire business in those 2 weeks in my bed.
Good for you.
And so I patented my product and trademarked the name and developed the product, found a great factory in Fall River, and everything is made in the USA, mm-hmm, and Massachusetts.
So this product that you created, you started with a single use, really, for women who were lying on their stomachs and it was not comfortable. And then you saw a million different iterations of this, or they were brought to your attention. So now, how far has this come? How this Featherstone pillow, which is what you call it, has now become what?
It's the Featherstone's Comfort Pad.
Comfort Pad.
That is the patent and the trademark.
Yep.
And I actually have had my clients, my customers, telling me what they were using it for. So orthopedically, before and after a surgery, mm-hmm, placed down a spine, a scoliosis, any kind of spinal, when people have pronounced spines.
Right.
Lumbar, people are using them in their cars, driving,
yep,
sleeping with them. And anytime you have a pregnant woman who's nursing, who is a woman who's had her baby, who is nursing, who is a stomach sleeper, they now can use that. Right. So the yoga studio for kneeling, for any posture. It's great under your hands.
Mm-hmm.
But what has now become the biggest, I had no idea, I never saw this coming, ever. But one of my clients is an MRI tech, and she found it to be the best prop to use for the patients in an MRI machine.
Your MRI tech said, let's use this. They used it, it worked. And now they're asking you for other iterations of this for the MRI machine. For example.
For example, I went in for a meeting to bring them some pads, and the head of the MRI department said, I have a couple other things I'd love for you to make. And I was like, okay. And one thing was a really simple block, a 3x5 block. And I said, but you have them. And she said, but they're not made out of your materials. She said, what you are using is what is allowing so much comfort for our patients. So the blocks are in production.
That's great.
She's been using samples that I brought her.
Yeah.
When I brought her those, she then said, I have a third product. And so that pad, which is more of a rectangle, not as big as the comfort pad, that's in production right now.
You must feel though, this all, your invention kind of went with how you have lived your life. It's all about providing relief, providing comfort, making people feel better. So how wonderful that an offshoot of what you love to do anyway became a business. I mean,
another
right?
business, I know it, and people do say that to me.
So all of this started with you loving massage therapy. So I'd love to go downstairs and see where you actually make this magic happen for people.
Sure.
Okay.
Let's go.
So I'm a client and you've brought me down to the studio. Why don't you walk me through what we would go through?
When I work on women who are not pregnant, this is the table.
Yeah.
And what you're also laying on, besides comfy fleece,
Yeah. Oh yeah. That is comfortable.
is an FDA-approved medical device for healing. It is called a biomat.
Oh.
And it has
It's warm.
coils. It's very warm.
Oh my goodness.
Or it can be cooler,
Yeah.
depending on your, whatever you want. A lot of people want it really hot.
Okay.
But if you've had a joint replacement, then we don't go hot.
Right.
Because this far infrared heat, which was developed by NASA, goes 6 inches into your body for healing. Whether you have a physical pain and emotional pain, if you just want to get centered and you lay on this pad, that's what it does for you. And it's lined with amethyst crystals.
And what are those?
An amethyst crystal comes in many forms, and as you know, this is what it looks like.
Beautiful.
This is very good for opening up intuitiveness, spirituality.
Okay.
You're laying on it.
Oh, okay.
Right. So we're increasing that in you. Now, if you are here and you are pregnant, this will not be on the table because it's not used for pregnancy.
Right. That makes sense.
But underneath this are is the strap that's going to hold in your baby.
Yeah.
This plug right here is going to come out of the table.
So your pregnant belly goes under there.
Exactly.
Oh, comfortable.
And this strap adjusts to the comfort of you and the baby. We want the baby to be comfortable. We want you to be comfortable. And then, of course, we have
for your chest.
the comfort pad for your chest comfort, which was the original idea. So that's what we do when you're pregnant. This is what you do when you're not pregnant. And then
does the heat, let me just ask you, does the heat help you when you're massaging someone's muscles? If they're warm, does it make it easier to massage them?
It can. If somebody has a really, really tight muscle, then yes, it definitely can.
Okay.
But what it does is it just puts you down.
Okay.
It is amazing how quickly my client will just say, "Oh my gosh," okay, and kind of surrender.
Okay.
And
Which is what you need.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, people like to talk during their massage, and I don't discourage it.
Yep.
If that's something they're here to do, because maybe they don't have anybody to talk to,
Right.
but maybe they just have something that really needs to be gone into. I mean, it's their massage, it's their time, and they do it with it what they want. We start face up, and at one point your eyes will be covered. And then when we're through front of body, you turn over and we continue. And when we're done, I leave the room again.
Yeah.
So I want you to feel like you're safe and you're secure and nobody's going to be coming in and nobody's going to be knocking on a door.
Yeah.
And then we just say goodbye when you come up, when you finally get upstairs.
Well, I can't thank you enough for sharing your story, for sharing your home, for sharing your passion, and sharing chapter 2. And with you, there's going to be a chapter 3 and a chapter 4. No doubt.
I'll keep you tuned in.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Julie.
it.
Thank
Okay.
you so much.
Yep.
To learn more about Leigh, visit featherstonesinc.com. You may revere this important historical figure as a patriot, early industrialist, and symbol of the American Revolution. But there's lots more to know about Paul Revere. On June 21st at 11 a.m., the Kingston COA invites you to brunch and learn when historian Richard Nichols will take you on a ride through the life and contributions of this local silversmith and midnight rider. A hot and cold continental brunch will be served. To register, call 781-585-0511. Bethesda House in Pembroke helps new moms and moms-to-be. Here's more on this important nonprofit.
Are you between 18 to 25 and pregnant or parenting one baby? Do you feel alone, scared, need a safe place to live? Bethesda House, located in Pembroke, Massachusetts, can help. At Bethesda House, we are so much more than shelter. We are a program, a home, and we offer you several options. Depending on your personal needs and goals, you can choose from 3 tracks: the bridge, work, or the education track, so you can be as successful as you want to be. The track you choose determines your length of stay, which can be up to 2 years. All 3 tracks build off of our core program. Then you can decide how long you wish to stay and how much you wish to access at Bethesda House. While at Bethesda House, we help with transportation, babysitting, and also provide diapers, wipes, and toiletries. If you'd like to apply to live at Bethesda House, simply call or text 781-361-2418, or you may apply directly on our website, BethesdaHouseMA.org.
The 19th century saw the rise of homeopathic medicine and the desire to live a healthy lifestyle. Join Duxbury historian Carolyn Ravenscroft on June 26th as she explores the popularity of alternative self-care trends like vegetarianism, the water cure, clothing reform, and others in the town of Duxbury and beyond. This event will take place at Project Yin Studios. To sign up, visit projectyin.com. Marybeth Lawton is the Director of Elder Affairs for the Kingston Council on Aging and spoke to us about the robust programs a COA offers and her mission to enhance the lives of seniors in the town of Kingston.
My name is Marybeth Lawton, and I'm the Director of Elder Affairs for the town of Kingston. I spent the last 10 years up being the director for the Council of Aging for a little town up on the North Shore called Hamilton. And it was wonderful, but my son lives with my ex-husband down in Bourne, and I wanted to be closer to them. And so I had retired from Hamilton. I did. I retired back in June of 2021. And I, thought I was just going to do something easy and just go into private. And I have to be honest with you, I miss this. I miss the noise. I miss the seniors. I miss the idea of what's going on in the kitchen. I miss the questions that come to me from the people that I work with, just to move, because Seniors are my passion.
I love being in the kitchen. I'm Italian, I love to cook. So it's second nature, and it makes me happy. I also have a knitting group. Needless to say, I do not knit, but we do have a group, and there's anywhere from 15 to 25 of us. We do all hats, we do blankets, we do baby things, and we have 2 big barrels down there that are filled with homemade knitting or crocheting, and what we do is we distribute it to the nursing homes, the hospitals. We've even gone as far as Rhode Island and California to the NICU units for the little babies' hats and stuff, and we're very happy to do that. We knit and crochet and we give, and that's what it's all about on a Friday. There's something for everybody here, and you just have to get out. You got to push yourself, because sitting home at our age is not good.
Our seniors love to be entertained, to have a vignette, if you will, or a performance by someone. So I like to do a lot of those sort of things. Elvis last month was just off the scale. We had preceded it by showing the new Elvis movie, and they saw the movie, so he came in, and it was like they were just going there. They were up dancing, singing along. It was just a blast. So anytime they can have fun, have the ability to not have to spend money, we do everything that we do here, we do with the idea that we are not going to charge them for it, that somehow we're going to find a way to cover that cost through a grant or a donation or something. What I'd love to do is a monthly dinner club, so that we bring in a TED Talk and we have one of the restaurants do a meal for our seniors coming in, and or a travel log where everybody's doing an armchair travel log, and you know see somebody's trip where they've gone, or we bring in a travel person, whatever it is. I love the idea of making this more than and something you wouldn't be thinking of otherwise. This building, as beautiful as it is, has its drawbacks. It's on a slab and there's no second floor. So we have no storage down below, and because it's upstairs, we can't even store anything upstairs. That room over there, that area, I've asked the Capital Improvement Committee to grant us the ability to do the work out there on the veranda, to enclose it and make it a full-on patio. So I can put the workout equipment out there, and you can go out, and we're going to have air conditioning, and we're going to have heat, and we're going to have TVs out there. That can be our gym. And so we open up more space in the big activity room. It's any little place that you can grab some extra square footage. That's what we're trying to do, because we're at the place right now where we're busting at the seams. All the people that are walking around out there right now, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. They make me grateful for every single day that I'm alive. And they also give me the ability to understand that life is very short. And at this point in my life, as in theirs, we have a lot behind us and not a lot in front of us. And so you learn at a certain moment in your life that those things that are in front of you, you have to grab it with both hands and hold on for dear life, because you don't know when it's your time. And so you need to be grateful, you need to be present, and you need to be kind. And so these people teach me that every single day.
Tai Chi is a martial art that employs gentle movements and postures to modulate your breath and ease you into a relaxed and meditative state. If you're interested in increasing your balance and brain health while achieving total relaxation, go with the flow at Pembroke COA's Tai Chi sessions every Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. The next session is on June 28th. Reserve your spot and call the COA at 781-294-8220. The South Shore Fun Lovers invite you all aboard for a trip to the Essex Steam Train and Riverboat on July 14th. Hop on a motor coach and take a ride to Essex, Connecticut with some new and old friends, where you'll climb aboard the Essex Steam Train and enjoy an excursion through the scenic countryside. As you pass farms and meadows, you'll feast on your choice of beef tips, baked chicken, or eggplant parmesan from the train's dining car. Upon arrival at the Deep River Station, you'll board a riverboat for a relaxing cruise along the Connecticut River. The motor coach departs at 8:30 a.m. from the Kingston Collection and will return you safe and sound to the same location at around 5:45 p.m. For more information, call Patty Santos at 508-746-1750. Next up is poet Marilyn Gove in a reading of her original work.
Our next poet tonight, Marilyn Gove, has worked as a journalist, copywriter, coach, trainer, and director of enrollment services at a university level. She considers herself an emerging poet and is a core member of the Westwood Poetry Group facilitated by Westwood Poet Laureate Lynn Vitti. Ms. Gove read recently at the New Members Celebration hosted by the New England Poetry Club. She resides in Plymouth, Massachusetts. Marilyn, come on up.
Well, that made me feel like Jennifer Lawrence. Remember at the Oscars? That's my debut. So I understand that if you seek support from people, they are usually kind enough to give it back. So I am new to Plymouth. It's my first time reading in Plymouth. So if you could kindly support me, I'd appreciate that. Firstly, I just would like to take a moment to thank Jennifer Harris. I moved into Sawyer's Reach at the end of January, and I met her about a year and a half ago. She was actually the first person I met in that condo complex. And my sister told her immediately that I was a poet and that I was just, absolutely fantastic, which always makes you blush because it may not be true. And she connected me to Miriam, and I'm here today, so I really feel quite grateful. Thank you so much. This evening I have 3 poems, and the first 2 are about my family, and they're influenced by my upbringing in a Jewish home following World War II. During this time, we lived in Revere, Mass, and in Winthrop, Mass as well. The third poem, I think, is a fun poem, and it's about a store I love, and I'm sure you'll all be familiar with it. And I think it says something very important about consumerism as well. Okie doke. Here's the first one. Winthrop, Mass, 1960s. My father sits in the corner, conversing with shadows, sits in the corner cutting ice cream with a knife and fork. My sisters turn from him. I tell a joke, desperate to entertain. He looks past me, flicks his fingers upwards, mutters imaginings into an inattentive ear. Tomorrow, I will shake him loose, walk the verdant highlands, climb the sky on the squeaky swings near Sewell Ave, dally on the gentle slopes of Fort Heath, then reaching the town beach, watch seagulls dive into the wild sea, their strokes taking me farther and farther away. This next poem is about Shabbat Shalom, a traditional Jewish blessing. And just for a little information, Shabbat is Hebrew, meaning prayer or a time of prayer. Shalom is Hebrew for peace, and Shabbat Shalom is a prayer for peace and a time to rest. This is a prose poem, and it's divided into 3 sections. Its title is The Sun Sets with Shabbat Shalom. 1. The gray bone of winter pounds the northeast with cruel winds and heavy snow. Whiplash streets howl with despair. Trees topple and power goes out. Shabbat candles dot the darkened house with circles of light. 2. Father sits in the kitchen, skinning a hostess snowball. Deftly, he lifts the pink coconut marshmallow from the chocolate cream-filled cupcake and sets it beside the pan-fried matzah, sliced bagels, lox, and Philadelphia cream cheese. He licks his sweetened fingers, then devours the processed treat. He does not speak or share. 3, Mother stands in the kitchen, a prayer towel covering her tightly permed hair. The Shabbat candles are lit. The blessing she recites becomes routine. Barak atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'vitznanu lahalik ner shel Shabbat. Mother waves her long, slender fingers 3 times over the candles, drawing the holy energy towards her. It looks like a magic trick. I wonder if she prays for a happy life. The last one, and the store I love, is Saturday at Costco's. You've been there, right? Figure I bring a little balance to the first 2 poems, you know. Don't want you to leave here having to take lithium or anything like that. Saturday at Costco's. Behold the big box store, pantheon of infinite aisles, purveyor of brands and discounted goods. Oh, how the masses clamor through your metal and glass doors, each a certified member clutching the supersized cart, their deity the coveted 2-for-1. And before their wallets are emptied, the hallowed food sampler, tiny elderly food sampler, thin hair tucked tightly beneath an unattractive cap, summons their ebbing hunger. Come, celebrate our double fudge truffles, savor our gluten-free dim sum, delight as you munch on the organic crunch of our Stay Trim and Slim bar. Behold the big box store, experience its shrink-wrap pulse, sing praise to America's lifeline, as much a prayer answered as it is a prayer lost. Thank you.
After retiree Jerry Selby discovers a mathematical loophole in his state's lottery system, he and his wife become the masterminds behind a multi-million-dollar winning spree, using the money to wake up their sleepy little town. This sets the scene for the Pembroke Public Library's movie matinee on July 3rd from 1:30 to 3:10 p.m. Based on a true story, Jerry and Marge Go Large is a big-hearted film that will leave you inspired and full of joy. Visit the library's website to learn more. And that's what's good and good to know on the local scene this week. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. We are grateful for your attention. If you like what you saw, please like and subscribe to the local scene here and share everywhere. Thank you, friends.